Well, good morning. Today we want to talk a little about the idea of being called by God to serve in ministry. And I first probably felt called by God when I was younger. After I was actually ordained, my mom told me that a pastor that I had when I was growing up had told her that someday I'd be a pastor, and she didn't share that with me until the time I actually was ordained. But anyway, I always felt kind of called to serve God. I always grew up in the church and felt at home in the church. Had a lot of good relationships with people throughout my time growing up. And then when I went to college, I decided I was going to be an elementary education major and teach. And after graduation, I taught first grade for about 2 years. And then I just really felt called by God to shift gears. I was just kind of disappointed I couldn't really share why I treated my students differently with them. And because I was a Christian, that's why I treated them differently. And I guess that disconnect of not being able to share that part of my life with them got me to think of doing something else. So I started working with some children over at Zionsville United Methodist Church and doing an after-school program there. And then just during those next couple of years, people started to recognize, they said, "Hey, have you ever thought about going into the ministry?" And I kept saying, "Oh, no, not me." My mom was a United Methodist pastor. She just retired. And I knew what that life was all about. And so I kind of ran from God for a while. But then finally, God kept pursuing me until I finally recognized that I needed to at least pursue what God might have in store for me as far as becoming a pastor. And so I went around and I visited several seminaries and decided to go to Garrett Evangelical Theological Seminary, which is in Evanston, Illinois, up on Northwestern's campus. And I moved up there, and then I met my wife right before I left, and she had really no desire to be married to a pastor, but I guess I convinced her eventually. But God just kept working in my life and helping me to see that indeed I was called to be a pastor. And so I went through the process, and I was ordained about 10 years ago now, and it's been a good journey. Ministry is interesting work. It's not always the same every day. If you're somebody who enjoys being with people, sharing and caring for others, it's a wonderful vocation. Definitely is hard work. There are long days, there are rough days, difficult situations, but all in all, it's been wonderful for me, and I get to be with people like all of you and with the congregation, and you really get some opportunities to share in people's lives in very meaningful ways. So it's rewarding in that regard. We wanted to just share a little bit about our calls to ministry today, and then let you know that this is an option for you. It's a a job that requires a variety of skills and gifts, and we all don't possess them, but somehow God works with us and makes things happen. One thing about God is He doesn't always call people who are perfect and who seem like they have it all together, but usually calls people who are just willing to say yes and who are willing to trust that He will give them whatever they need to accomplish the task that's put before them. And so, every day I wake up and I just ask God how I can join Him in His work, and I try to do that to the best of my ability each and every day. And for me, that's what I feel called to be as a United Methodist pastor, and I hope you'll at least think about it as a possibility for you.